What's going on, y'all? This is John,
This is Cach.
and this is To Become One. So listen, y'all, this is the How We Met video. Many people don't have much of a background on us. We kind of just popped out with them 5 pictures. If you ain't see them, go like them. We dropped them things was serious. But anyways, we had a photo shoot, and we know we wanted to pop out, and when we wanted to pop out, we wanted to pop out. You feel me?
Pop
So
out.
this is our How We Met video. It's going to be very quick and precise. We're not going to go too deep. Be on the lookout for our book that's coming. But this is what happened. This is my end, and then Cash is gonna give her end, and then we're gonna be about it. So this is my perspective per se on how we met. One day I was on TikTok live, and I was doing a Bible study. I really don't know whether I was praying, preaching, whatever I was doing, and a chocolate young lady, young woman of God, came on and said, "Blessings, prophet." said said blessings, prophet. I'm flowing. So like I seen her, but I was like, okay. And I just, didn't really acknowledge her. Just kept moving, kept moving. All of a sudden, I think like a couple of days later, I get a friend request on Instagram. And it was Casherelle. And I was like, hold on, let me see. So I clicked on her, I just want to see what she was on. I seen, businesswoman, woman of God preaching. I was like, wow, she's nice. But I left it at that. I didn't like pictures. I didn't watch stories. I wanted myself to be incognito. So obviously I followed her back, and I was just keeping an eye on her. I just wanted to see if she would slip up and post a man, if she would slip up and, show something that to me I didn't want. You know what I mean? Whether some explicit photos, showing a little too much skin, stuff that I couldn't rock with. You feel me? Yeah, I may be different, but I'm talking about me right now. So what happened was, a couple weeks went by, and all of a sudden, the beautiful prophetess began to
That's not
comment.
true. It was months. We'll
This is
give.
my
I'm gonna give my
perspective. Like, come
perspective.
on, like, yeah,
Yeah.
like, don't do
Okay.
that.
Okay. I'm gonna give my
That's
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
give.
saying. I said my
Okay.
perspective.
No problem. Miss.
She says months. It may have been months. How about I say this? Time went on. That's way better. That's better.
Yeah, baby.
Time went on.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually fire.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great transition.
Mm-hmm.
Time went on, and she began to DM me, commenting on my story. I'll post something like a quote, or post a song or a sermon from somebody, and she would say, "Oh wow, that's my favorite," whatever. I really don't remember the swipe ups, but I know they were there. And I would just look at them at first, because I didn't want to seem too thirsty. Because like I just knew she had dudes up in her DM, so I wasn't trying to fall into that category. You know what I'm saying, of the young men of God who was just, you feel me, wanting to, you know what I mean, get right. You feel me, date, court. God said, "You my what?" You feel me? I wasn't trying to be one of them, so I had to make sure, that I put myself in a different category. So time went on, and I began to respond back. I still wasn't liking pictures or watching her story, but I began to, respond, this and that. And it came to a point where now I felt moved to make another move. And fellas, I'm giving you my, you know what I'm saying? I'm giving you strategy right now. I'm giving you my strategy. I knew if I went and followed her on Facebook, that it would be so much more eye catching, because when you get for all my people back in the day, oh man, take down my Snapchat. You know what I mean? Nowadays it's Instagram for us. Instagram is like that, yeah, connect with me on that. But if you go from Instagram, okay, first TikTok, Instagram, now Facebook, that means I had to, type her name in friend her, and I knew that was gonna get her attention. So I do that, you know, we end up speaking on the phone. Well, first the DMs that happened, I was asking her questions, did you play sports in high school? I'm just asking normal questions. And yeah, that was last June. That was last June, and then we've been consistently speaking after that, except for I think what was it?
Maybe like a month.
Yeah, because we had to take a little break and let God do what He was doing with that. But that's my perspective, and now we're about to hear Casherel's perspective. Take it away, babe.
Okay, so now it's time to really get into the tea. Somebody say the tea.
Oh my gosh.
So, because I don't think he went like too deep, like how I feel like he should have.
I'm not going extra deep. That's why the book is for. You can't give him everything.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give y'all some tea because that's not enough for me. Like you didn't give nothing. Like
because you have to buy the book.
But no, they should still know what they ought to buy.
That was a good. How you gonna tell me about my? Just tell your story.
All right. Anyways, so
just tell your story. You coming at my story.
So long story short, or whatever, the Lord, like I want to go like into a little bit more detail on my end, right? But I say he that find a wife. So maybe mine should be a little bit longer. My version.
Can you just go into your perspective?
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. So
keep your mouth off my perspective. Just that's my. You feel me? Just yeah.
Okay, so long story short or whatever, I was in a relationship last year. I wouldn't even say a relationship. I don't know what you would call that. Don't do that. It wasn't a relationship because the person never asked me to court them. So what are y'all? Let me know in the conversation. What is a relationship to y'all? Is the relationship me and you talking heavy and this is a relationship? Or is it when you asked me and now it's like, okay, now we're in a relationship. That to me is a relationship. When the man asks the female, until it's official, we just talking and vibing and getting to know each other.
I disagree. I ain't gonna go there. Just go.
Go there.
Not when individuals is meeting spiritual parents and meeting
He met my spiritual parents by accident.
It don't matter. It just
so happened that we all was in Atlanta in one weekend.
Your parents though? Your mom?
He didn't meet my mom like how you met my mom. No, he didn't meet my mom. He met my mom on the phone.
Okay, that's still something.
Yeah, but the only reason he met my mom too is because
just call it.
I think they actually did meet.
Yeah, stop playing.
But it wasn't like oh, this is my man.
It don't matter.
It was like this somebody I'm getting to know.
You're not letting nobody meet moms if you don't think it's serious. Period.
To me, I don't look at it like that because my parents have met I think almost every dude I dated. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Can you stop?
Long list. Long list. I'm the last one.
Can you stop? So, anyways,
I'm the one.
Okay, thanks. So, anyways, I was in a relationship, whatever. Long story short, the details will be in the book, but long story short, I was played really bad. Like when I say bad, and when I say the devil will really send a counterfeit, man, like that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day just on counterfeits. So, he's like, he was everything I thought I wanted till I met him. Tall, all of that. We ain't gonna get into details. But yeah, like basically he definitely was a counterfeit. Long story short, May of 2023, me and him had a fallout in the terms of like basically long story short, one day he just stopped talking to me and that was that. So I'm sitting depressed, crying, like, why
not
me?
My baby.
I'm sitting just like, why me? Why did I have to go through this?
Oh, baby. Poor baby.
I'm like, why did I have to go through this? Like, I was so, when I say y'all done with relationships, done with men, done with just done. Like, I'm done with this. Like, I'm not doing this no more type stuff.
And then there was a man named John. Sorry.
So that's May. So now let's go back. Okay, so I gave y'all that. So now let's go back. So that was May. I would say, I don't remember dates now, but I would say in my spirit, I feel it was February is when I found his TikTok. I feel in my spirit it was February 2023. I don't know. So. That's what I feel. I don't remember dates. Please, no, I don't remember dates. But in my spirit, I feel it was around February. I really don't remember when I found his TikTok. But anyways, I'm scrolling on TikTok in early 2023, and he's on live. And I'm like,
going in.
Yeah, he's on live going in. And he's like TikTok.
Oh my God.
So babe, you know how many people have come up to me like, I seen your man. We was just at church literally on Sunday in a whole nother state, and a man of God came up to us and was like, I saw you on TikTok. Like, this man TikTok man. Anyways, so he's on TikTok doing
Glory be to God.
Amen. He's doing a live or whatever. And I'm like, okay, he looks cute. You know, I'm like, this is nice or whatever. Handsome, you know, man of God. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And so I didn't follow. I think I did comment in the live though. I was like, God bless you, prophet, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I said something right in the live.
Oh yeah.
And and so after that or whatever, I didn't follow, but I did comment. And then the following, I would say like week, maybe in a week time frame, he pops up in my algorithm again. Now, this is how it's like, this is where it gets kind of like weird, because it's like, how he back in my algorithm? You usually have to pray and say, God, please bring this back into my algorithm. So for him to pop up in my algorithm for the second time, I'm like, okay, so he's consistently pouring. I'm in ministry, he's in ministry. And y'all know how it is when you're in ministry, there's a certain person you need to marry that understands the weight of the assignment. You know, we'll get into that a whole nother day. But anyways, he understood the weight. I knew that. And everything I could want in a man.
I'm spinning. My fault. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I remember going back now to November 2022. I remember I was in my season of singleness, literally. And I remember the Lord told me, write out everything you want your husband to have. And I remember writing out height and waves and skin color and facial hair.
It's coming in, you know what I'm saying?
It's perfect, babe.
It's coming in.
Physique. I mean, everything this man, and then not the external factors, but internally, a man of character, a man of his word, a man of integrity, a hard worker, a leader, prophetic. I mean, just like everything I could really want. I mean, he has. And I remember writing out that list. So when I found him, I'm like, dang God, I just can't do another counterfeit. Like, that was my exact thought. Like, and I remember actually sending him, I think, to my best friend Natalie. Shout out to Nat. And I never told him this till like months later. I was like, you know, I actually was looking at you in that way, because he thought I wasn't. But I sent him to my best friend. I was like, what do you think about him? And I don't remember what we said, but I do have that screenshot somewhere in my phone. And whatever. So I follow him on Instagram. And I knew if I followed him on Instagram, it would get his attention. Because, you know, TikTok is like busy. But if you on Instagram, and at that time, he didn't have all the followers he has now on Instagram. So he had like maybe 3,000 when I first followed him. He has 7,000 now. Remember that? Mm-hmm. When I first followed you, he had like 3,000 followers. Yeah, and you was following mad people. He was following mad heads. So I'm like, but he wasn't following too many though. Cause I'm like, let me see what, you know what I'm saying? We gotta see like who you following. Yeah. So anyways, I follow him. He follows me back immediately. Babe, you remember what you told me when I followed you? You was actually on your phone?
Yeah.
Tell him.
Oh, wait, hold on. I don't remember that, but go ahead and say it.
Oh, okay. So he said when I followed him, he was actually on his phone and he never be on Instagram or something like that. He said to me, like, when we were talking about this months ago, he was like, I was actually on my phone when you followed me. So it was just kind of like, that's strategic or whatever. And he follows me back. I'm like,
oh my goodness.
But I was not trying to get into a relationship. Let's just keep that the main thing. I was not trying to get in no relationship. Babe, I'm being honest. Okay. I wasn't trying to get into a relationship. Babe, I'm being honest. I wasn't trying to babe, I wasn't trying to get into a relationship because it's like, bro, like I had too many. Like I'm tired. Like I need to be single.
You hear that? Too many.
Not public. I haven't posted a dude since high school. Period. So anyways, don't play with me.
Come on.
So anyways, so we follow each other or whatever. So now we on Instagram. Months go by, I'm in a relationship. I think he is dealing with something. He'll tell y'all his story later. Anyways, we both dealing with something. We in some situation, okay? So, long story short, I'm like, okay, God, like, I'm single. I'm not even trying to get into a relationship. I'm not trying to do none of that. I'm good. I'm me and Jesus. I love God. He just looked good to look at. So, let me follow him and we'll see what that looks like on the side. So, anyways,
piece of meat. I'm just playing.
Anyway, so we find each other back. Months go by. He's not watching my story, not liking my posts, not sliding up. I know I look bad. I know I look good. So what's going on? Is he, what's it called? Is he in a relationship? Is he sick? Like, what's happening? Like a mystery. I literally was like,
fellas, that's how you
but he
gotta
said
do
God
it.
told him to do that because he knew many guys were in my DM. And I'm not gonna lie, that's true. Because if he would have been on my body, I would have been like, oh, he's just like a regular average Joe. Let's be honest, ladies. Let's be honest.
Fellas.
Let's be honest. Because if he would have been on that timing that everybody else be on, he wouldn't have stuck out to me. So months go by, mind you, me in this relationship is rocky. We'll get into that another day. So I wasn't cheating because I wasn't in a relationship. I wasn't cheating looking at you. I wasn't in a relationship.
I ain't saying nothing.
I wasn't cheating.
Okay.
I was in a relationship. I wasn't in a relationship.
She just told on herself. The truth will set you free.
Okay, anyways, long story short or whatever. So I'm not in a relationship no more. Period. I started swiping up his stories. I'm like, he posted Apostle Joshua something. I was like, oh, I love him. And then and then you posted something else and I was like, amen or something or whatever. Because I'm like, why he not swiping up? So I never
the ball's in my court now.
I never slide in a guy's DM, but I'm like, why is he not answering me? Like, what is happening? Like, that was getting me annoyed. Like, I was actually starting to get annoyed because I'm like, I never liked his post. I only slid up. And I would join his like lives here and there and just comment. So I'm like, none of this is getting. I'm like, yo, is he like, what's happening? Like, was you not feeling the kid? Like,
I was feeling you, but you know what I'm saying, you feel me? You got fellas, be patient.
But I ain't gonna lie, when I saw him, y'all, I was like, oh my gosh, this man a guy is fine.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so I lost my train of thought, my fault. So basically, I seen him, whatever. This is months later. He adds me on Facebook. But this is actually before I started swiping up.
Oh, no. Say the prophetic word first.
Oh! Yes.
The prophetic word.
Wait. Oh, my God. That's a big part. Shout out to my sis, Apostle J. So I get out of this relationship the end of May. This is the end of May. It's like May 20 in the 20s.
No, there was two. The one when he was with you at the service.
Oh, yes.
And then that one.
Yes. Yes. So April, now we got to go back to April. April, I got a prophetic word from this other apostle. I had to speak at a conference. I get a prophetic word there. She literally calls me to the front. And she's like, take off your shoes and run. Because she said, your husband is coming. She said he's going to understand the weight of my assignment. I wish I could add the videos. And we may have to edit this so we can add the videos and add every clip and everything because it really is deep. So
and her ex-boyfriend was there.
And my ex was in the service. So she says, your husband is coming. He's going to understand the weight of your assignment. And she said, your last name is going to change like this next year. So that was 2023. So we're in 2024 or whatever. And I'm like, okay, like, and I'm crying. She actually, because her husband, they do have a heavy marriage mantle. And she lays hands on me. I fall out, of course. And, she's praying for me. And she's just like, in front of everybody. And my ex is there. So, of course, he's like, dang, like, what in the world? Like, he confused. I'm confused, but I'm just chilling. You know what I'm saying? Because God knows all things.
All things.
And so God knew he was playing with me anyways. And so not knowing, I'm like, whatever, I don't know, maybe, whatever. And so a month later, our situation happens. Long story short, he goes back to his ex. Didn't tell me they were still communicating. I had dreams. So God was showing me things already. And then the time came and it just, ended or whatever. And then so basically end of May, I'm devastated, I'm depressed, I'm hurt, I'm crying. And my sister, Apostle J, she texted me, she said, I'll even insert screenshots, not making this up. She said, I don't know why I feel led to tell you this, but you were not wrong. But she said, God is sending your husband and he's been watching you. And she said, your replacement is coming. And she said, the grace that he had to be your husband has lifted and now it's on your husband. So I received the word. This is right. That word was June 3rd. She gave me that word. I met him June 6th or 9th. June 6th or 9th we met. So literally, no, it was June 9th. So 6 days, what, that's 6 days? 6 days later we meet after that prophetic word was released. And what was the thing you told me when we met, babe?
What happened?
Tell him, like, the thing you told me. Pertaining to that word, what did she say he's been?
Oh, yeah, I was watching her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching her for sure.
Yeah, he was watching me. He told me that when we, like, not met, but when we, like, was like, you know, what's up?
If y'all rewind this and go listen to my perspective, I told you I was watching her for a little minute.
He was watching.
I was seeing him. Listen, I was seeing if she was gonna slip up
because he added me randomly on Facebook. I'm like, what? Like, we didn't even have mutual friends. I'm like, how did he find me? I'm like, he had to type me in, and that's what made me think, okay, something's up here. That's when I started swiping up, and I was like, oh, you know, I started swiping up. I was like, you know, I like this, whatever. And then, long story short, one day he actually started asking me questions like about sports, and because he's a D1 athlete, I was a varsity track runner, so we had that in common or whatever, like sports wise. And we were just communicating about that. And then I asked him about his testimony, but little do he know, when he was texting me, I was watching his podcast episode that moment, literally.
Wow.
When he was texting me, I was literally watching. So I knew about his testimony a little bit, but not much. You know, I just watched with him and his best friend Roman, his brother. I was watching.
Shout out my brother Roman.
Yeah, shout out to our brother
Minister Roman Benson.
So I'm watching his podcast, and it was literally the one where you were talking about your testimony. The book was like in the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a book, Don't Count Yourself Out, right? Stay in the Fight. Mm-hmm. So get that. Amazon will put the link in the comments if you want to read more about his testimony, because it is very amazing.
Be on the lookout for her book in 2025.
Amen. He's prophesying.
Come
on. I'm like asking him about his testimony. He's asking me about mine. It's too long. So he's like, can you just call me? Or because I'm sending voice notes. He's not though. Were you?
Yeah, I was sending voice notes.
Oh yeah, he was sending voice notes. So we were going back and forth with the voice notes.
But fellas, listen, fellas, it get to the point where you gotta like you gotta shoot the three. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep laying up. All the voice messages and text was layups. All of a sudden, you gotta look. The worst she could say is no. So you shoot that 3, and she gave you because I gave her my number, because now I'm like, okay, either she gonna hit me up or she not. When you get that FaceTime from a number you don't know, just know you sunk that bad boy. But sorry, go ahead. So while she's doing that, look. So what happened was after that, we was talking, but the first couple of days, I would say the first 2 days, we would have our conversation, and then we would pray at the end. And when we would pray at the end, there would just be such a manifest.
Wait a minute, you skipped mad parts. Sorry, I got an important text. So we're gonna edit this off. So anyway, so he DMs me, gives me his number, I call. Guys, I get on the call, I look crazy. I'm like, I don't want him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not coming on here to look cute. You know how it is, girls. Like, you got to try to fix yourself up real quick before you get on FaceTime. But I'm not trying to, like, really talk to him. So, I got on there looking really crazy. I was just like, period. And so, we're talking, though. I'm looking at him, and he tells me his testimony, mad red flags. I'm like, okay, this is a red flag. I'm counting the red flags in my mind as he's talking. Like, I was so hurt that, like, I was looking at him and like, okay, he's a walking red flag. But really it was my trauma and what I went through. He was just telling me his innocent testimony, and I'm like, red flag. He wasn't telling me nothing about no ex, nothing about no story, like no, literally just his testimony. I'm like, he was telling like, in the pandemic, right after a situation, I got $12,000 from the government and I went to the mall and gave it all out. I said, okay, so he's not good with money management. Like, I don't care what God told you to do. You don't do stuff like that. like what? But anyways, and so we talked on the phone for like a good hour, I would say. And that was our first conversation. It was innocent, it was pure, it was fun, it was good. We got to know each other a little bit. His testimony, he told me in depth. And then the next day, I think he texted me and checked on me. And then that's when he was about to say what he just was about to say with the other stuff.
Yeah, man. We was praying and there was just such a manifestation of God's love. And it was so overwhelming. And the rest is history. It came to the point where we were speaking so much, but there comes a time, fellas, where you have to make sure that your courting or the woman you desire doesn't become an idol.
Mm.
So what happens is God will distance you for a moment, for a season, so that you can put the individual in the respective place below God. Because when you first meet somebody and
it's hype.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun. It's hype. It's new. It's different. And you can just easily get just engulfed in it.
Easy.
So God, by his grace, allowed us to separate for a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
And we are in a long distance relationship.
Oh, yeah, we're in a long distance relationship.
We're in a long distance. So we're on the YouTube channel, y'all. We'll be talking a lot about long distance and courting and purity and different things like that. But we are in a long distance relationship and we were on the phone all day. Like when I say all day, like we were missing prayer time.
We wouldn't
be reading. And I'm like, okay, God, like what are we doing? Like, and so God literally had us separate for like a good month. And we still haven't met in person yet. So this is maybe around the month of September, I think, October. No, we met in October. So September, the whole month of September, we were not talking. He would call me and check in, and just, hey, what's up? I was like, hey, what you doing? Nothing. It was dry. And then we were like, all right, bye, see you later. But I was missing him deep down inside. I was missing him. I know he was missing the girl because he was calling me. But long story short,
she was trying to leave me, y'all.
Babe. Oh yeah.
She was trying to leave me. Let's keep it real.
I was entertaining other people in that month. Don't ask me why. Cause honestly, I didn't know what we was doing. Like it was confusion to me. Like I'm like, are we together? Are we not? Are you gonna court me? Like he was trying to court me over the phone. I'm like, no. Like I'm like, you don't do that. Like you don't court somebody over the phone. That's not something you do over the phone.
Family, it hurt my heart. No,
I actually know a couple that got married over the phone, or engaged. But that's kind of like, to me, that's not what I want.
Family,
you know what I'm saying?
Family,
I haven't even met you yet.
Hurt my
you
heart.
Are smelly in person. You walk weird.
It hurt my heart because this is what happened. When you're on the phone and you oh la la la, you saying your sweet stuff, and in 1 month. It just was thrown in the trash.
It wasn't thrown in the trash. It was just.
I wasn't entertaining nobody. Fellas, listen, straight up, fellas, staying strong. You feel me? When God separates you, you gotta know. You know what I'm saying? Don't be entertaining nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Just take your time. Don't do what she did. Don't do. That's not the example in this.
Okay, hold on, baby.
I'm the example.
Wait, baby.
You stay strong. Hold on. You stay strong.
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute.
Babe.
No, because when there's no agreement. Like, okay, when we're gonna be on this break, we're not talking to nobody. We're not entertaining nobody.
Do you remember what we was talking about?
Yes, I do.
So then, what are you talking about?
At the end of the day, y'all, a situation happened, and I was entertaining somebody. Not for long. Maybe like 2 days. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It wasn't even. Okay, it wasn't 2 days. Maybe a week. Okay, I was on the phone with somebody. That's it though. It was nothing, whatever. And this person was talking heavy. I ain't gonna lie. But I knew deep down in my heart, like my friend Chandravia will call me. Shout out to Chandravia, because I ain't gonna lie. If it was not for Chandravia, I would not be with John.
Oh,
and it's just the truth. She told me from day uno he was my husband. From day on, I'm like, Chandravia, but he don't got this. And I'm looking, females, we look at certain things, and I'm looking, I was like, he's cute, he loves God, but I was just like, but deep down inside, I didn't even mention this. When me and John first met and we started talking heavy, I started to pray. I separated from him and I was like, babe, I was like, John, we gotta pray and fast just to get confirmation. He already knew I was his wife. He told me, like, he didn't tell me God said, he just knew, like, I want you, And I was like, okay, whatever. But I need to go into prayer because I can't waste my time no more. And I told God, I need something literal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need no dream. I got to decode. None of that. So I already got the 2 prophetic words about my marriage at that time. And I got many prophetic words in the past, but those 2 were the recent ones before I met him. And so I go into prayer, and I actually, for 2 weeks, I didn't hear nothing from God. And I told him, like, if God doesn't speak about us, and if he tells us no, we have to be okay with that. I remember having a conversation with him about that. And we were a little, like, not scared, but
I wasn't worried about none of that. This was more so for her.
It was for me.
He who finds a wife. She was trying to tell me, and I'm like, yeah, like, he'll tell you, because I'm not about to sit here and God said none of that. He gonna tell you.
Because, he was on
that because there came a time when, because remember, fellas, it's he who finds a wife. So when you find her, God doesn't need to tell you that she's the one. God will move her to know that she is your one. So it's not like I was seeking confirmation. I was seeking signs.
Men will know.
Because I have to go find her. Once I find her, based on the different qualifications or just what God knows that I need, he'll put it on her heart. This is where many men mess up, is because we try to use God as a way to get the woman easier than having to, chase her and court her and do different kind of stuff. Well, God says, so if you don't do it, then you not moving in God's way. You feel me? That's what many men do.
And it's manipulation, because you're not giving the person an opportunity to really see God about it. Because they're going off your word saying God.
I have experience with this. That's
not a good look.
Listen, whole part 2. But men, don't do that. Don't do that. If you see a woman you like, if you see a woman that you even want to get to know, just be you. Don't even involve God said this, God showed me this. Let God show her and speak to her. Because then she came to me and said,
yeah, so I had a dream that he actually proposed to me. This is the first dream. And usually, I'm telling you, 99.9% of the time, actually 100% of the time, if I go to God about a young man or a man or a gentleman who try to approach me, God will tell me to offer it. That's why I was scared to pray. I ain't gonna lie, because I was feeling him, and I'm like, God, like, please, like, you know what I'm saying? And
1 second. What I prayed to God, fellas, was this. I came to God and said, Lord, I want her. And to show her that this is like real, basically. You know what I mean? It wasn't now my place to tell her God said. I went to God. I gave him my desires. I said, God, I want her. Show her that this is real. Show her what I'm about. Show her I'm not here to play with her. And then.
So then I had a dream that he proposed to me. But in the dream, it wasn't the fact that he proposed to me. It was the fact that in the dream, the power of God was so heavy in the dream. And I was really, me and him, he proposed, he gets down on a knee. In my dream, we had a bunch of like well-known leaders around us in the dream. And one of the leaders laid hands on both me and John and laid us out under the power of God and the anointing in my dream. So when I woke up and I felt it when I woke up, I said, God, what did you just show me? And he said, not only is he your husband, but God was like, your marriage is going to embody my presence. And that's what literally he told me. And so I called John immediately, because again, I've been praying for 2 weeks for confirmation. And I call him and I say, you're my husband. I know you are. Like, because it was like the dream was just like, it is what it is. It's like, I can't even decode that. What is there really to like not, in the interpretation? And he said, it's funny you said that, because literally I prayed, because he didn't tell me he prayed that he didn't tell me this. He told me that day when I came to him and said it. That's when he told me, I told God my desire was I wanted you. So it just kind of all aligned that day. And from that day to, like I said, September, we were, full swing. And then October, I've called him the night before. I said, John, if you don't do this,
it was a test.
It was a test. I ain't gonna lie.
Pass the test.
Because I wanted to see what's up. Because don't play with me. Like, I'm not about to play with you. I don't care what nobody said. If you don't put in the work, period, pursuing, he that findeth, that word findeth, y'all, means to continuously seek. Hello. So just because somebody said, God said, or you got the confirmation, you still have to pursue that person. So that's what I was looking for in him, the pursuit. And he was doing good with what he could do at the time. And I was like, okay, cool, So I told him the night before I had to go to New York for my security guard and driver, Gerald. Shout out to Gerald.
Shout out, Gerald.
It was his birthday. And I told him, I said, I got to go to New York. Mind you, he lives in Pittsburgh. I live in Maryland. That's a 6-hour and some change drive. I called him at 9 a.m. Mind you, the night before I went off on him. I said, look, I was going off. I sent a paragraph. I said, look, I don't care what is going on. If you don't do X, Y, and Z, this is the type of woman I am. I just was going.
She was snapping for no reason, fellas. For no reason. I'm reading the text like this. I'm just like,
because mind you, we still ain't meet in person. I'm like, what is happening here? Are we together or not? Like, because people want me, and I'm like, are you wasting my time? Like, that's what my whole mindset was. So, anyways, he writes me or whatever, or no, I call him. I said, look, I gotta go to New York. Can you drive me? And I gotta be there by tomorrow. So I live 5 hours from New York. We live 6 hours and 30 minutes. Do the math, y'all. That's almost 11 to 12 hours of driving. He's like, what? Drive you to New York. It's 9 a.m. He like, what? Drive you to New York? I'm like, so are you coming or not? Like, let me know. He making phone calls, asking wise counsel and all this other. What is going on? Are you
kidding or not? No wise counsel.
Yes, you did. Don't play with me.
With
yes,
who?
He did.
With who?
Apostle. You called Apostle. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I remember that. Yes, you did. He would act like his memory. No,
I really don't remember that.
He called his spiritual grandmother. Should I drive casserole? Da 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 da. I remember the text. She said, "Do it if with wisdom." Remember?
Oh, don't play. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm being so serious.
Anyway,
I forgot that.
So he sends me the screenshot. I'm like, what is going on? Is he coming or not? Like, this is what I'm talking about. I'm like, nah, I'm done. Like, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, I knew this was it. And it's funny because the day before I fasted all day.
He fasted the whole
I had no
day.
idea why the Holy Spirit was like, yeah, we fasted. Always be Holy Spirit led with your fast. Don't do things without the grace of God.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation.
But all day he had led me to fast, and then I wake up and he like, yeah, we on the road. We gonna do it.
And so, he comes to my house. He gets to me by 6 p.m. This is the first time we meet. I look at him up and down.
And I'm taller than him.
He's taller than me. I'm 9.5, 5'10". He's 6'4". And he had on little shoes, so he was a little bit taller than me. A little bit. Now he was a lot of it. I actually got to look up to him. And I'm so. I was nervous. Oh my gosh, y'all. Because think about it. He's 6 hours on the road. I have his ET. I'm like refreshing it every 5 minutes. Like, is he here yet? Is he here?
Oh my goodness.
Did I tell you I was doing that?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I was really nervous. And then finally he gets to me and he opens my door. He
hey fellas,
gentlemen.
Be a gentleman.
And then we get to the gas station because he's hungry. I want to make sure he eats. I actually gave him some Chick-fil-A, I remember. And he was still hungry. Did. And we went to Wawa. And I remember when he had to go to the
shout out to Wawa.
Yeah, shout out to Wawa.
We need a sponsorship from them too.
Yeah, we do. He goes in the gas station and I'm sitting in the car. I'm like, yes. I'm like, this Santa God. I said, he is fine in person. What was you thinking? What was your first reaction?
My first impression, I walked in, you was on the phone with Chandravia.
Shout out to Chandravia.
I went to the bathroom. I took my shoes off. I came back. But as I was using the restroom, I was like, Lord, she looked good. I was like, she looked good. And then I took her stuff. And I was just like on some, we see the external, you know what I'm saying? But I was excited to see in person, you know what I'm saying, your personality, how you talk, how you handle yourself. And I was just like, yeah, I could do this.
So yeah, and we are driving now to New York, road tripping. Our first road trip. Well, he says it wasn't. He thinks we had our first official road trip recently, which it was pretty long.
That was a
That
road
was a long
trip.
road trip. That was a road trip. This was like 5 hours. So we got to New York by like 11 o'clock, 11, 12. And I took him to my pizza spot where I grew up. It wasn't trash, baby. You liked it.
I'm just fine. It was all right.
It was all right. I didn't take him to the best spot. I took him to Little Vincent's in Huntington Village. Shout out to Little Vincent.
We're not even really getting to the tea. Let's talk about your impression with what happened at dinner. Fellas, take notes. Take notes.
So he did, mind you, for multiple reasons, God told both of us not to tell anybody about our relationship. So we only, like, wives, counsel, and parents really, I don't really think his parents even knew about me at that time like that, honestly. So nobody really knew around this October. Nobody really knew except my parents, and that's in Chandravia.
My apostle.
Oh, Etero knew, but that was really it. My best friend knew kind of some sort of. So this is her first time even meeting him. Like, she doesn't know. She was like, wait a minute, this man driving you all these hours and you ain't giving him nothing, and like, because girls, like, men want something. So for him to do all of that, like, my best friend was already impressed. Like, what is happening here? Like, this is a real man. Like, she was already saying that. But then it's Gerald's birthday. We go out to eat. We go to a nice restaurant too, like a steak spot. And they meet. John meets. Natalie is like, shout out to Natalie. Natalie's like,
oh my god.
And so or whatever. So we out to eat or whatever, and the bill comes. And mind you, I asked now, like, what's the bill? She like around like, I think it was like $4.30. It was something like that. I ain't know.
No. What happened was she tried to see it, and I took it from
he was like, what? That's not your job. Like, he snatched he took.
I said, like, what you looking at?
Like, what you looking at?
You
like,
look at nothing.
You gotta look at nothing. And Gerald, he think he paying for his birthday dinner and all of our food. He take out his Amex, called a guy, because this is like his regular spot he took us to. So he trying to work something out in the app, I remember, with the guy with the reward points or something. So while he's doing that, while Natalie is confused why John just took the check out, John just slips his card in, calls the waiter over real smooth, and is like, here. And so by the time he come back, Gerald just now getting off his phone, and he looking at John. We all looking at John. I'm even looking at John, because John didn't tell me. John told me in the car, get whatever you want. Because that's what he do, like, in the beginning. But now, whatever. It's a standard.
What standard?
Shout out to John.
Oh my god.
For keeping a standard and upholding our whole relationship. So anyways.
God is good.
So anyways, so he's like, do whatever you want, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. And then so we out to eat, and then he paid for the whole table for Gerald's birthday. And he like, you thought you was paying for your dinner on your birthday? And Gerald's like, hey man, Gerald, hey man, you ain't have to do that.
Shout out Gerald. That's my
dude. And Natalie said, oh, you got a real man.
Natalie is
like, nah, she was like, nah, you got a real man. And so we go outside, and he go and get the car, because we have on heels and stuff like that. He like, oh, I'm not gonna let y'all walk. So while we're outside, Natalie looks at me, and Nat do not do this. Like, Nat is not. I've been in a lot of relationships already, so Nat already had enough with me in relationships. So she's not the talkative type. She's not the type to just say something. She seriously looks at me while we're waiting outside for John. She's like, you would be stupid. This is literally what she told me. You would be stupid not to marry him. That's it. I looked at her and I said, wow, that was it. She asked me like how old he was or something. I was like 27 at that time. You were 27, right? Or 26.
It was October.
When I met you? How old were you?
It was October. I was 26.
Yeah, he was 26.
Fellas, listen. Because even with her best friend, her sister Natalie, the key was, and this is the standard now, many men are only so focused on their own woman that they neglect every other woman. and they think that that's like a stamp of like loyalty and stuff.
And he hold out her chair, open her
chair, open the door to the car,
put her jacket on, like helped her.
You gotta, you feel me, set the standard, because now what it is I want to help women close to her understand and identify their values of what a man and a man of God is supposed to conduct himself like. So now, in hopes of just my own, and it's not like I was doing anything special. This is just who I am. So now, in serving my lady, I'm serving her friend, I'm serving anyone she's with, because now it's a standard, and now they looking at themselves like, oh, this is nice. This is how I like to be treated. Because many women and even many men, they accept a standard that they've been given, but they don't accept a standard that they're shown, because there's not very good examples. And you should always want to be that example for everyone around you, not just with your words, but with your actions. So shout out to Natalie. I definitely wanted to serve you as I serve my lady, and as I just carry myself. So it was something genuine. I wasn't trying to earn brownie points. You know what I mean? It's just
this is actually like, y'all will see as we grow this channel. John is just like that. Like, he helps everybody. Like, he has such a heart of gold, and that's one thing I love about him. When somebody asks me, why do you love John? It's because I love his heart. I love his character. I love who he is as a man. Like, he goes above and beyond in the extra mile for everybody, not just me, everybody. It's like a standard with everyone. And I really love that about him. He's just an amazing person.
Yeah, man, God is good.
I'm about to cry.
It's an honor to do.
You getting teary, baby?
No, baby, you're not gonna cry like that. It's an honor to do it for my baby. So listen, y'all, we want you to like this, comment, subscribe. Give us a topic. You feel me? Tell us what you want us to talk about. Tell us what you may want us to answer. Let us know what you thought about this. Join the Two Become One fam. We love y'all.
A lot to come, y'all. A lot to come.
There's a lot to come. We gonna get with y'all soon. We're gonna get with y'all soon. Peace.